Good governance, it's essential, not only for Africa, but for development and for growth everywhere. Because private sector or any business people need certainty. They need certainty, they need safety, they need accountability, transparency. And you can only achieve that with good governance. And one of the challenges for investment in the continent, it has been exactly that. The lack of clear processes, the lack of good governance puts challenges not only for private players that want to invest, but even institutional ones. And this is definitely something that we should strive to do better. At IFC, it's definitely one of our key approaches when you look at any investment opportunity, being it from the debt side, on the equity side, we also look at how to support that particular investor in reinforcing his governance structures. At the same time, in our interaction with all of these private players, we also try to identify common themes. And in our interactions with the policymakers, together with our colleagues on the World Bank side, we approach the policymakers to try to influence on the policy side of things to improve in order to improve good governance. But why is important? It's not only for Africa, but it's everywhere else, because a private investor or private sector to invest needs certainty, needs safety, needs transparency and accountability.
Well, I think good governance is essential. At least I'm looking at it from one lens, which is the private sector investing lens. The private sector see good governance as a bedrock to long-term sustainable investing. So be it appropriate policy, be it appropriate regulation, be it kind of standards such as environmental, social, and governance. These are so fundamentally important because I think having the right baseline enables investors like ourselves to actually understand what we're investing in, enables our partners, particularly when we want to mobilize more capital into markets across Africa, to actually understand that the enabling environment is there, that the governance and the respect of rule of law is there. So I think for me, fundamentally, from an investing perspective, it's important. From a long-term sustainability perspective, it's also important. So it's a key part, I think. And again, the conversations earlier this morning emphasized the importance of governance from people who are investing in Africa on a regular basis, including ourselves as BII.
Look, governance is a global issue. No matter where you are, doing business, I think there's a couple of things that must exist for business to be competitive, for it to be resilient, and for it to really bring out the best of business or what any other private sector leader would need. I think the first is really just creating that level playing field. So what happens with regulation, what happens with incentives, what happens with issues such as taxes and tariffs. All business people want to do good business, and a lot of times it's just asking for a level playing field, for predictability, for sanctity of contract, for clarity on the economy and markets, and the right market signals. And I think those are imperatives globally, not only for Africa. For the African continent and where we are right now, and a relevant part of the discussion these last 2 days has been about the new business environment for Africa. We're seeing a regrouping of geopolitics and trade and business. And I think the huge opportunity is then, number one, what does Africa do to strengthen its own business, trade, and investment? But also, how does the world then engage with Africa and Africa with the world? A lot of that is predicated on the fact that there needs to be that level playing field, that sanctity of contract, the predictability in trade, business, and investment. And that's been a major part of the discussion here.
It's the governance. It's a key topic if we want to for instance, the economic development to be a reality. At the end of the day, everyone should know the rules of the game, and these rules are defined by the government, by the public sector. working hand in hand with the private sector. So it's a co-construction. But at the end of the day, this is a matter of public policies. These public policies should be based on science, based on the needs of the population, based on the need of the private sector, where this private sector is having a lot of stakes on the field. So it's a matter of co-construction, it's a matter of collective intelligence. And the fact that this kind of rules is not just for Africa, but this is for the world globally.